pages at FBN TV on YouTube and Isaac the Promise on Facebook, and tune in on Isaac 98.1 FM.
Tweens, get your pen and paper because you don't want to miss this one.
Listen, messenger, just I lift him high, hey. Oh gosh, I just thank him in advance. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. I'm not persuaded by the tricks the devil plays. I just thank you, Lord. You already provided. Oh gosh, I just want to say thank you, Father. Jesus, you give me everything that I needed. Lord, even if I don't get a chance, Lord, I thank you in advance. Hey, thank you in advance. Hallelujah. You're supplying the food on the table, the money for the gas in the vehicle. Lord, even if I don't get a chance, Lord, thank you in advance. Hey, thank you in advance. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. I'm not persuaded by the tricks the devil plays. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. Neighbor, thank him for the house, although you ain't see it yet. Neighbor, thank him for the car, although you ain't see it yet. Neighbor, thank him for the job that he give you to work and sweat. Hey, thank him in advance. Hey, thank him in advance.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I finally get it correct. It's afternoon. Guys, you are listening to the Tweens on the 981, and I'm in studio with... Yes. After he's been ducking us for a while, he's finally here. So, guys, we have a very eventful day for you guys. We have a little interview today with Jason Charles, which will happen around 1:30. So, in the meantime, Zion, how was your week?
My week was eventful. I would say eventful because preparations for the Christmas had the house looking nice and stuff like that. Yeah, had the house looking nice and yeah, just working on the house, making sure the house look for the Christmas and also lessons and exam.
That's about it? Okay. What about the tweens on the Zoom? Hey, Tristan. Hey, Tris.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. What's up? How was in studio?
We're good, honestly. How are you?
I'm good, actually. I'm great. I woke up to some good news. My week was eventful for sure because, well, I had a theater exam and one of our SBs was CSEC, which we basically had 6 weeks to put on a play, right? And it was really good. It was a success. And after all the endless nights of writing, and then we had to rewrite, and then we had to go over it again, practice, rehearse. We got total in our exam, and then I found out I got to perform for Drama Fest, which is a competition. And this morning I woke up to the news that I'm in the finals. So praise God for that. So this week was really good. It was, I must say, thank God for a favorable week.
Wow, that's great to hear, honestly. I know SB is kind of like a very stressful thing,
Yeah,
especially
touchy,
especially
yeah.
around this time because exam is right around the corner. So I really hope you get through with that. I know you have your little good news and you're probably excited. Yeah. So Moani, how was your week?
Good afternoon, right?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you're clear.
Hello. Okay. Everyone, my week was pretty good. Where they had independence 2 days ago, so I went to that. And the thing is, they have it in the evening, which is a better advantage I find for the officers and everyone else because in the hot sun, they will faint. So in the evening time, everybody all energized and stuff. So it was great. School starting back next week. Please God for me. College life. But it's good. Otherwise.
All right, that's great to hear. Janae, how about you?
Afternoon, everyone. I can't really remember what happened this week because it passed so fast. The weeks are passing faster and faster, in my opinion. The news is really just tests coming up. I really have no SBs at the moment besides English, which that could be held back for a while. And yeah, just revising every single lunchtime, trying to see what crevices I could fill. So yeah, that's been my week.
Yes, and I know it's around end of term time where teachers are giving tests and stuff like that. I know a lot of you guys probably listening probably have some exam probably this week coming up or the following weeks. And on top of that World Cup coming up, so it's kind of like you, you don't know if you're ready to study or to watch the TV. I mean, unlucky for me, my exams start the same day World Cup starts.
Tough,
So it's like,
tough.
I don't know. I mean, it's only 4 subjects I had to study for. But at the same time, it's World Cup. Come on, football. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I'm able to study and get everything done while getting to watch my football as well because,
Multitasking. That would be
exactly, yeah, the multitask.
Wow. It is not serious.
Yes. Well, my week of school was honestly kind of fun. It was a lot laid back. I find like in Form 6 is not much of, a pressure than you would get in Form 5 because even though you have exam the following year and you have less time than the Form 4s and 5s to prepare for that exam, it's a lot more laid back. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work, but, it's not that much pressure unless you think about it. So my way of going through it is to not think about it until I have to think about it. So, guys, we are the Tweens and we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
Merry Christmas, right? Merry Christmas, homie. I'm a girl. Merry Christmas, life. No one, everybody, mommy, daddy, sweet, Jesus, sweet, sweeter than the sugar cane stuck in my teeth. Merry Christmas, Trinidad and Tobago is sweet. Merry Christmas. Keep it level. Let me go. Tell them. Last year I spent about 99,000 for a little piece of lamb. This year I can't do that. I ain't stupid. I eat this steam fish on you. We going and have a country Christmas morning. The dashing done in and the pot well frying. Mama said the grocery price is rising, so she waiting for Jesus soon coming. Mama do around Christmas time. Send me to grocery to prepare for the lime. Yo, the master better be on time. Cause daddy leaving early just to be the line. By the grocery a little after 2:30. I pick up a big fat turkey and J Prince push in the trolley. Don't buy the cash a box up on Sister Anna. When she tell me the price, Papa say, boys, things ain't nice. This year we eating fish and rice. We going and have morning. The dashing dawning and the pot well frying. Mama said the grocery price is rising, so she waited for Jesus soon coming. For certain, Mama belly start hurting when she see the price of the diamond text curtain, the price of the paint make mommy faint. She say you're not getting my house again.
No daddy, jump up, sweaty and hot. Pose like it's a big shock. Dipping in his pocket, but he hand can't stop. Daddy forget that he pocket it was from buying new washing machine. Back and deck iron with the automatic steam. No force French 10 turbo ice cream. Gas come and don't put pot on the
We going and have a country Christmas morning. The dashing dawning and the pot well frying. Mama said the grocery price is rising, so she waiting for Jesus soon coming.
Do not get caught up in this material life. Better place your hope in Mr. Jesus Christ. So don't you blame it on the season. That shouldn't give you the reason to
spend all the money on a wasteful thing. Nobody chase with the flashy and the diamond and the blink and them thing. It a figure lead you in a sin and sin. No, we not dealing no way. If my band on the earth, for him die on the cross and them die on the cross, we go save all the lost. Don't get caught up in the Christmas rush. That's why we make do with what we have. We going and have a country Christmas morning. The dashing dawning and the pot well frying. Mama said the grocery price is rising, so she waiting for Jesus soon coming. We going and have a country Christmas morning.
Alright guys, so we're gonna pay some bills and we'll be right back.
Mama said the grocery price is rising, so she waiting for Jesus soon coming.
For generations we've been serving you, giving you the best for less, that's what we do. Friendly faces, fresh foods on every aisle. At JTA Supermarkets, you are sure to smile. The best prices each day. Come to JTA, you feel like family. Here at JTA, shop safe and happily. When you're at JTA, there's more in store today. It's all at JTA. Whoa, at JTA. JTA Supermarkets. Your total bill always costs less at JTA.
Love is a beautiful thing. Nathaniel presents
Forever Plus One, the album launch. Sunday, November 6th, Courtyard Government Plaza.
Gates open at 4:30 p.m., showtime 6 p.m.
From the man who brought you for better or worse.
Baby, my love is eternal.
I just want you all to feel love, see love, and define love differently.
Backed by his live band, Empty Us.
Special performances by Nisa,
Jara Nurse,
Steve Flavany,
Candace Caton,
Aaron Eiffel,
Shannon Francois,
Kay Allen,
Vanessa Briggs,
singers, and many more.
Courtyard 200, VIP 400.
Available at King's Launch, Barber Spa Arima, and Movie Town, Port of Spain.
All Showaholics locations nationwide. MyCare Optical locations, Port of Spain and Chaguanas. Or online at islandetickets.com. Log on to Nathaniel on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
Sponsored by Fisherman Project,
MyCare Optical,
The Student Hub,
Clinical Media Group, and the Sport and Culture Fund Office of the Prime Minister.
Forever Plus One, the album launch.
Sunday, November 6th, Courtyard Government Plaza.
Because love
is a beautiful thing.
At Westby's Supermarket, it's savings every day. Westby's nice, Westby's sweet. At Westby's Supermarket, you can shop for your delight. At Westby's Supermarket, the price is right. I see you getting bargains as I move from lane to lane.
At Westby's, you come into a whole new world. Comfort shopping, secure parking, and their prices? Come see for yourself. Westby's Supermarket, savings every day.
Westby's nice. Westby's sweet, sweet, sweet.
Westby's Supermarket, Dago Mountain Main Road, and now open at Eastern Main Road, Cane Farm in Tacarigua.
4.5%? 4.5%? 4.5%.
That's my husband. He cannot believe the offer we're getting from TTMF.
4.5%.
That's for the first 6 years for a mortgage up to $2 million. 95% financing with extended terms up to age 70. He calls it a home sweet loan, and he talks about it all day, every day, because soon we're going to be proud homeowners. Anyway, honey, what you want for breakfast?
4.5%.
TTMF, from here to home.
Hey, you, yes, I'm talking to you. I want to know what you're cooking this Sunday. It's a 1-hour segment right here on Isaac. Every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Callers, you get a chance to tell us what you're cooking. We're taking 3 calls and we want you to share your meal with us. Tell us how you prepare the meal. Any dish that you wish. But you must include Lotus Parboiled Rice because this one is sponsored by NFM. Hey, I don't tell about no other rice, you know. Lotus Parboiled Rice. And you could use Lotus flour too. But wait, it's something like I trying to cook for you. Let me put it this way. You must use the Lotus brand. The most creative Sunday meal wins a hamper from our sponsor, NFL. Promotion runs till December, so you know we're looking for some Christmas dishes too. Once you're the Sunday winner, you can send us a photo or video of your meal for real to our WhatsApp, and we'll post it to our Facebook and Instagram page. It's time to showcase your skills, people. What you're cooking this Sunday, right here on Isaac.
Dominion Appliances. Wow, Dominion Appliances. We're shopping at Dominion Appliances. Oh, wow, Dominion Appliances. We've got air fryers, blenders, dispensers, and freezers, perfumes, pot sets, TVs. We've got trimmers, stoves, washing machine, dryers, all that you need. At Dominion, come experience the best quality. Come, let me go to Dominion, let me go. This Christmas, go to Dominion, let me go. Come, let me go to Dominion, let me go. This Christmas, go to Dominion, let me go.
Visit buydominion.com and shop online. Come see us at Scipio Trace Conby, Tobago. Dominion Appliances. Experience quality like never before. Merry Christmas!
Right, guys, have you checked out our new Isaac website as yet? Visit isaacthepromise.com today and click on the green survey button. Tell us what you want to hear. Thank you for supporting us in making Isaac 98.1 FM your #1 family gospel radio station.
FBN and Isaac 98.1 FM sends condolences to the family of Sean Daniel, whose wife passed away on Thursday the 3rd November. We pray for God's comfort and peace to be with you at this time. From all of us here at FBN Isaac 98.1 FM, we love you.
We paranging like how it was long time. We moving around from house to house to house.
No cash, no problem. Pay 0 hire purchase installments for 90 days with Furniture Plus. Special terms and conditions apply. Check social media for details. Nobody undersells us. Nobody.
Don't forget she's a Lisa. You bring the shock. You bring the bucket. What do we got about the Larry? Knuckle Larry. No Santa or no snow. Jesus is so we know. Jesus is so we know. No Santa or no snow. Jesus is so we know. Jesus is so we know.
Alright, guys, so it's that time again. Nope. We have an interview today with Jason Charles, who is here on Zoom with us. So Tristan, I'll leave it to you to take it away.
All right, Tweens. So yes, as Jada said, it's that time of the day. So we are speaking with Mr. Jason Charles, who, and I know even for Jada and Tweens who are going to look for jobs now, have just finished school and are ready to get that work experience, we want to hear from Mr. Jason Charles on how can we as Tweens prepare for interviews? What are some of the do's and don'ts? What are some of the techniques? What are some things they are looking for So, we welcome you, Mr. Jason Charles, and we want to tell us about yourself, and we're going to get straight into it.
Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Jason Charles. I'd like to first thank you for having me on this program. I believe is an excellent initiative, one that will do well for the youth of our country. About me, for the past 12 years, I've been employed as a career management professional at the College of Science and Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, COSTAT. So at COSTAT, my role and my function is helping students and helping persons become employable by providing them interview skills, resume assistance, and any other career guidance that they need in order to succeed.
All right. So once again, welcome to the program. So we want to get straight into it, Mr. Charles.
Sure.
So I want to know, what does an interviewer look for? What are some of the things they like to hear? What are some of the things that they put you on top of the list just because, you are out of the bunch? You make yourself, seem that you're fitted for this job best.
Right. Interviewers look for many things, and it would depend. Number one, I believe, in terms of confidence, you have to be confident in your ability and your experience that you can do the job well. Employers of course look for the level of education that they ask for, that you're able to provide, that have that level of education. They also look for the experience. If they ask for experience that they would know that you're able to do the job properly. All right. But before I go into what employers look for, but there are some guidelines in terms of what persons should do, even preparing for an interview. All right. So I have some general tips, and some general tips which will include: research the position. You're called for an interview. Do your research. Research the company, because one of the questions in an interview may be, tell me what you know about our company. All right. So you have to know about the company, know about its mission, its vision, and see how the mission, vision, and core values resonates with you as a person, and whether there are any overlaps there. I would say create a good impression, first impression, always in terms of dress properly for your interview. Make sure your hair is combed properly, make sure you dress well for the interview, as well as turn off your cell phone when you get into the interview. Teenagers and young people these days are always on their phones, making sure it's on, I wouldn't even say vibrate, but put it on silent. Sometimes vibration could be a little more distracting when you do so. Whether it be an in-person interview or an online interview, arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. All right. So even when they call you for the interview, get proper directions, proper location for the interview. If you're not sure where the building is, you can do a drive by, pass, explore the area, beforehand, get an idea where it is so you don't get lost on the morning of the interview. Do not speak negative about your previous employers. That is one fatal flaw. A lot of people who leave jobs for reasons that they may not want to tell, sometimes bad talk the previous employer. I advise people not to do so, right? Listen carefully in the interview. Listen carefully to hear what you have been asked so that you'll be able to respond properly. Maintain proper eye contact when you're in the interview. Sometimes when the interviewer asks you questions and you look all around the place, that gives off deceptive kind of feel, that you're lying, right? Be yourself in the interview. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself in the interview. Be confident in you and who you are and what you can bring to the table. Some don't. Do not ask about salary, vacation days, holidays in the first interview. A lot of persons usually do that And I suggest you don't ask those kinds of questions. And what I have is don't lie. A lot of people accentuate themselves on their resume and in the interview. Do not lie. If it is you cannot do something, if something is not a competence, some people may say, I have excellent customer service skills. And they know that they can't tolerate people at all, but they have excellent customer service skills. Don't lie, you know? All right. In-person interviews, I would tell people, be courteous, greet persons who are doing the interview with you. Sit when you're invited to speak. And an in-person interview, I would advise, even if you have that $500 bottle of perfume, do not wear perfume or loud perfume because the interviewer or interviewers, it may affect their sinuses and that sort of thing, and that may create a negative impression on them, all right? So I have some tips for people who are doing online interviews. Ensure that your background is clean and clutter-free. Good lighting is important. So we don't want to see all the things behind you that, you know, that may not look presentable. Ensure you're in a quiet environment, an environment that you can concentrate, you can hear and understand. Ensure your mic is working, you know, do your mic checks and things beforehand. Download your software. If they said there's a Zoom interview, download Zoom or whether it be Microsoft Teams before. And again, be courteous. And I would tell people, you know, usually the interviewers are the persons who are asking the questions, but at the end of the interview, they will ask, do you have any questions? So I would suggest that you prepare 2 or 3 questions that you may want to ask the interviewers that show that you have an interest in the organization, whether it be who would be my supervisor? Are there any training opportunities? You know, you ask questions that show that you have an interest in the organization. All right, and prepare for the interview. There are certain standard questions that interviewers ask when you are doing an interview. Tell me about yourself, right? And to me, and the funny thing about it to me is this is the hardest question that they ask. Tell me about yourself. And what they're looking for when they ask you to tell them about yourself is not necessarily where you're from, what kind of mango you like, and all these kinds of things, but they want to know what about you will make us hire you. So here you speak about your skills, your abilities, your ability, your qualifications, your experience, your study. Where did you study? What it is you're studying? You speak about yourself. An interview is an opportunity for you to market yourself, an opportunity for you to speak positively about yourself, to sell yourself to the prospective employer. All right? Another question they ask you is, why do you want to work for a company? Or why should we hire you? Tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses. And tell me about your weaknesses. You're not going to say, well, I be late for work every day, you know. Or I can't get up on time every day. You look for, those are not weaknesses that you're going to tell an employer at an interview. Weaknesses are things that, when they ask the question, weaknesses are items that you know you may have a little trouble with, but you also have to show that you are doing something or taking steps to improve yourself. Improve that, for instance, a weakness may be your inability to say no when work is given to you. You know, so how I would say, I find it hard to say no when work is assigned to me from other people. However, sometimes it may be the detriment of the job that I have been assigned to do, but I'm working forward to say no or concentrate on my work first, prioritize my work first before taking on other duties and responsibilities. Something that not going to position yourself too negatively at the end of the day. Yes.
Yes, guys. We are speaking with Jason Charles, the career management professional. Now, Mr. Charles, share some tips on how to search for the right or suitable job.
All right. I usually tell people not every job out there is for you, right? Not every job is for you. And I take it that personally myself. And not every organization is for you. Remember when I spoke about doing your research, understanding what the company is about, the company's mission, the vision, their goals, their objectives, their core values. You have to ensure the organization's core values relate directly to you. In addition to that, you have to ensure that you have the requisite experience and the qualification that the person they are asking for within. So I advise people essentially when looking for a job to do their homework, do your homework, and doing your homework starts with doing introspection with yourself. That means essentially knowing yourself first, understanding who you are, understanding what you want in life, what you're willing to forego, whether it is, for instance, if you're a person that likes to sleep through the night, would a shift type job be applicable for you? Would you apply for a shift type job that sometimes you have to be working in the night? No. So you have to know yourself. If you value work-life balance, there are certain jobs you have to work continuously over and above the 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock end time. You have to know yourself whether it is that is the type of person you want, whether it is you want to prioritize family, whether it is you want to prioritize, And something I've learned is that money isn't everything in employment, in terms of your happiness and peace of mind is most important at the end of the day. Many may disagree.
Mr. Charles, you touched a bit on weaknesses, and I believe one is also anxiousness. And so I would like to know, how do you overcome, or what are some things you can do to help you when you are anxious for an interview?
Let me start off by saying it is natural to be anxious before an interview, any type of interview. I would say for different people, it's different things. So doing your research, confidence is everything. And how you build confidence is by having the information about yourself, doing your homework, preparing for the interview. When they call you for the interview, you can find out whether it's a one-on-one interview or whether it is a panel interview. So you won't be surprised at the end of the day when you see 5 people sitting on the other side of the table from you. Breathe. When you get to the interview, breathe. Reach early, breathe. Go to the bathroom. Look at yourself in the mirror. And be confident. Be confident in yourself. Once you're prepared, you shall do fine. It is normal to have the little butterflies before. It is normal. But for me, preparation is key.
Hi, Mr. Charles. I'm just here to ask, how does one for a job prepare their resume or curriculum vitae?
Okay. Essentially, you have to understand that your resume or curriculum vitae is the first point of contact between you and the employer. The employer doesn't see you, whether it is you're tall, you're short. The employer doesn't see you. This is the first point of contact. So therefore, this is your opportunity for you to make a first impression on the employer. So therefore, with your resume, you have to ensure that one, that you meet the qualification. Your resume is neatly laid out. I've seen persons with photographs on their resume. I'm strongly against that in this context and in the society of Trinidad and Tobago, by putting your picture. Ensure your email address is professional. I've seen email addresses on many resumes over the time that I would laugh and you would laugh when you hear them. You have to ensure that your email address is professional. You have your first name dot surname or your first name surname at Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo.com. And by having the wrong email address, one, it is an immediate kind of turn off to employers, because a lot of them may be disrespectful in nature. All right. In terms of your resume, you have to ensure your resume is, for me, black and white. There are a lot of people that want to use blue, green, yellow, orange on their resume. Your resume is black and white, black text on white paper. No pictures, graphic designs, borders, anything of the sort. And it must be consistent. So therefore, if it is you're using one type of bullet point, you use it consistent with that one bullet point. If it is you're using one font, you use that one font. If it is you're using, just be consistent. If you're bolding the names of your employers, bold all the name of your employers, not alternate, and sell yourself, all your skills that you have. As a tween, what you would have volunteered, the associations in school that you participate in, whether it be your head prefect in school, whether it be a volunteer, you're in the drama club, whether you got an award for anything within school, I urge you to put it on your resume. Resumes need to be reverse chronological in nature, meaning that you start off with the most recent experiences first and the schooling education first. So what you're doing currently, then what you did before, what you did before that. All right? It needs to be in that particular order. But your resume should be, again, consistent. It should be clear. It should not be long. For a tween, your resume should be at least 1 page, I would say. Ensure that you have this may sound funny, but you have to ensure you have contact information on your resume. I've received resumes with no contact information on it. So even if I wanted to give you the job or call you for an interview, I would not have the means to do so. All right?
All right, Tweens. Well, first of all, Mr. Charles, we want to say thanks again for coming on, and we like this. I personally am enjoying this interview. So as we continue along, I want to know what you would say are some taboo words in an interview, words that immediately may throw off, or some phrases that may throw off an interviewer and may put you at a disadvantage.
Taboo words. I would say, as I would have indicated, salary. What is salary? How much vacation? This is at a first interview level. How much vacation that I'm getting? I would say what could turn off, sometimes lying. And sometimes you think that you're good at it. Human resource professionals are sometimes trained to detect whether it is you lying or embellishing, right? So, as I said, be yourself, be yourself, and state what is actually factual. In terms of phrases,
join the Tweens with their special guest, Mr. Jason Charles.
Hello?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I would say don't be disrespectful in an interview. Don't bad talk your previous employer. Don't bad talk yourself. Remember, an interview is something that is supposed to sell you. The positive attributes that you possess. So I would say there's no list of negative phrases or words that you shouldn't do I would just say to be positive. Be positive in your answers. Be positive and sensible in your answers when you're answering.
Indeed. So, yes, we want to continue along. And I know you gave us some proper common structure questions, but any other questions that you think tweens need to prepare for an interview?
Sometimes they ask situational type questions in an interview. For instance, describe it, have you ever worked in a team? And then they will ask you follow-up question, describe a time that you worked in a team. And even if you are a student and this is your first job, remember that you would have been in secondary school, and I'm sure that you would have had group work before. And those are teams. So have you ever worked as part of a team? Was there any conflict as part of the team? And how did or what did you do to resolve the conflict within that particular team? Sometimes those are the questions that they ask you. They will ask you, why should we hire you? And I find that a lot of times people find it hard to see the positivity in themselves. And sometimes the key positives about yourself are what the employers are seeking to find out. And I advise students and clients to go home, get a piece of Bristol board, write your name in the center in a circle, and draw spokes. And in each one of these spokes, you put something positive about yourself that is true, whether you're hardworking, dedicated, committed to task, focused, and get familiar with these types of words and descriptors and adjectives for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your confidence is everything when going into an interview. And the reason why I said, tell me about yourself, is the hardest question is that people don't seem to be able to come up with positive adjectives about themselves, and it's sad. So I encourage all the youths listening here today to go and think about and write down all the positive attributes about you so that it doesn't become a surprise when people ask you, why should I hire you? Tell me about yourself, so that you'll be able to speak highly about the most important person that is there in the interview, yourself.
Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Charles. I have kind of two questions, one sub question and one main question. So the sub question is, I know earlier you said that you don't want to ask about salary and vacation time, but some employers actually ask you, what do you prefer to get paid, or how long you want your vacation to be? So how to answer that question? Do you lowball or do you just...
In doing your research, you have to do research not only on the company, but about the industry, right? So you would know, if you do your research on the industry, for instance, if it is an administrative assistant type job, you will find, you may ask people around in your circles, what do you work for, around what you work for, or you may do your research. I think there's the Employers Consultative Association there's a book with salaries in it, right? So in doing your research, you will find out what are the ranges on the different types of positions, and you will know the type of position that you're interviewing for. So once you do your research and they ask you, sometimes they do ask you, what is your salary expectation? You would be able to give an appropriate answer by the research that you do, whether it is to say between 5,000 and 7,000 for an entry-level job. You give that, and you have to know by the industry too. There are some industries that pay more than other industries. All right, so again, doing your research about the industry and the pay scales in the industry is important. And the second question?
Right, so I also know that one of the most important things to going into interviews, how you appear to the interviewers themselves, like how you groom yourself and dress code and stuff like that. So what tips do you have for tweens for what they should wear?
Okay, for young men, I would say going into an interview, a shirt, preferably a white shirt, black pants, a nice tie, um, matching color shoes, preferably black, and socks. And when I say socks, I have to tell teenagers often, when you're wearing a black shoe and a black pants, you don't wear white tennis socks or white sports socks. You look for black socks there. So essentially, a shirt, long sleeve shirt, tie, long black pants, dress pants, black, blue, a decent soft pants, and a matching shoe and matching socks to go with that. Being properly groomed, you're not wearing too much jewelry. You're not wearing jewelry, in terms of whether it be rings, bracelets, anything that could cause a distraction to the person doing the interview. All right? That's for young men. And proper haircut, neat haircut. For young ladies, I would say you can have either pants or skirt suit, or pants and a top, dress pants and a top with matching shoes, not high heels, but comfortable heel or comfortable heels. You're not wearing any distracted amount of makeup, right? Taste makeup. If you wear makeup tastefully done, you wear earrings that aren't too big and flashy and dangly, probably a stud type or hoop type earring, and your hair properly combed and combed. You ensure that your nails are well manicured. You're not going to do the M&M different color nail polish, the different red, blue, green, orange type nail polish. You're going with a standard type nail polish as well. All right? Nothing tight, nothing revealing for both men and women.
Well, Mr. Charles, a question leading from that one. Okay, you have the dress code, you're probably well groomed and everything. But
Right.
let's say your attitude, you are a good worker, you have the qualifications and everything, but your attitude is more of a laid back kind of person. You give up a vibe that you can't do the work, but you really can. How do you go about with that?
If it is your vibe, you have to understand the organizational culture of wherever you're going to work, right? There are some organizational cultures that are laid back, and they encourage they encourage efficiency over everything. That means your ability to do the job over. But there are other employers where how you position yourself or how you present yourself is sometimes more important and can tell a tale more than what your actual ability is, and that is called your image. And you have to pay particular attention to your image, because if somebody doesn't know your ability, they can make inferences about you based on your image. So they can look at you at your desk and see your desk sloppy, or they may see a donut stain from the stain what you're eating, or they may see you laid back at your desk, and they may automatically think that, listen, this person is lazy. This person is not suited for the position. And though you may get the job and you are laid back and lazy, laid back, even though you can do the job, several opportunities you may miss. For instance, by having that image, you may be overlooked for promotions. You may be overlooked for opportunities within the workforce. So you have to look at your image and see what the culture in the organization is, and try to adapt your image to that particular organizational culture. And what I mean the organizational culture, I mean by what what members of the organization do when you come in, right? Sometimes it may not be all positive, but you have to ensure that sometimes you fit within that culture that is established there.
Yes, it's now the top of the hour. We are speaking with Mr. Jason Charles, the career management professional. Now, I have one final question before we wrap up. You were
Sure.
speaking before on subject. I would like to know what are the academic achievements or what subjects do interviewers look for? Like what grades in the subjects, either in math, English, any sciences? What exactly do they look for?
It depends on the type of job that you're looking for. Again, most persons look for a full certificate, which would be 5 CXC Maths and English, that they look for at the level of coming out of CXC 16, 17, 18 years old. If you are scientifically inclined and you want to get into either furthering your education in a science field or getting a job within a science-related field, I would suggest that you do some science subjects. But it is all dependent on the individual, and it all depends on the direction they want to go, whether it be science or business or, you know. So I would say at the CXC level, 5 CXC Maths and English is the standard at this particular, but you can go on to do A-levels or you can go on to tertiary level education. And the higher you go is the more employable you will become. All right? So, and I must say that having education and the qualifications is for all well and good, but your attitude is important, the soft skills, your manners is important when in a job, getting a job and in a job. A lot of times employers say, we get people who can do the job but don't possess the soft skills to keep the job or to be positive at the job.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Charles, for informing us and helping us in these type of interview situations for a job. We really appreciate it. It was very impactful. It was very knowledgeable stuff that we tweens would take down and use in our future interviews. So thank you, guys. This is the Tweens. We were speaking with Mr. Jason Charles on today on the Tweens. So guys, it really was a good interview. What about Zion?
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say it helped a lot with all the people who have finished school and stuff like that. I hope it gave them some insight on what employers are looking for.
Yes. So Tweens, do you guys have any last parting words before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to say quickly, Tweens, enjoy the rest of your week. I know end of term is coming up soon. So, just focus and do your best and, and want to say thanks to Mr. Charles once again.
Yes, I want to say also thanks to Mr. Charles for the very informative words of advice, and shout out to, all the up and coming career people of the future, and have a rest of your week, everyone.
I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone who's listening. Hi, Mommy. I'm back to studying, back to a lot of work, but this was really informative, and I really needed it as, finish school and looking for a job. So thank you, Mr. Charles. It was really nice having you here. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. You as well.
Yes, guys, so this was the Tweens. I want to make a quick shout out to Fresh Kid Steven, who has been listening to us on YouTube for a while. So shout out to you. I also want to shout out Jabari Griffith and any other Tweens who are listening either on Facebook or on YouTube. We are glad that you stuck and stayed with us, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Zion, you have any last things you want to say?
I just want to say that I hope all the people who looking for jobs really listened to this program because it was very beneficial.
Yes.
So y'all could go back on YouTube after this is stop being live and watch it again.
Yes. So guys, this was the Tweens, and we are out.
To a world of musical sound. Welcome. Music that can fill you with energy.